Okay, everyone. Hi, my name is Sue Jordan. I'm the author of the book Ready, Set, Host It, The Ultimate Guide to Setting Up Your Short-Term Rental. Now, over the years of hosting, and now I actually coach and mentor people in how to run their own short-term rentals, set them up and then host them themselves. Conversations have always come up about booking on the Airbnb platform. And I found that there were a lot of people really nervous about doing it, or they just truly didn't know how. And I've had a lot of friends that I've sat down in coffee shops with, and I've sort of run through on my laptop how to actually do this. So I thought, what a great idea. Let's put together a little lesson in how to book more effectively on the Airbnb platform so we can all go away and holiday in fantastic places that suit us and what we're after. Now, this is going to be in one take. I hope the dogs are locked out and the cat's locked out and no one's going to be knocking on the door. So I'm not the most tech savvy person in the world, so I'm not sure how to edit everything. So this is one take, a very casual thing, just you and me sitting down with a laptop, and I'm going to show you how to book more effectively on the Airbnb platform. So we're going to call this little lesson, Ready, Set, Book It. We're going to have a look at how to book on the Airbnb platform with a little bit more confidence. We're going to set up your profile on Airbnb. We're going to learn how to use the filters to book what we actually require. A lot of people end up staying in the wrong type of accommodation because they're not sure how to use the filters. Oh, and we're going to learn how to communicate with hosts, okay? So let's get to it. Here's a little bit of a disclaimer that you can pause and read if you like, or we can just move on. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is you need to get into the Airbnb website and actually set up a profile. I like to have a nice smiling photo. Hosts these days don't actually see your photo until you've booked and paid. It used to be that you would see it straight away, but that doesn't happen anymore. Things will change over the years, so I don't know when you'll be watching this little video, things can change, but they sort of basically remain the same, as the saying goes. So having a nice, happy profile photo is fantastic because, you know, you're staying in people's homes generally, and they want to know who's staying there. So try not to look too cranky, something nice and happy, like someone that would want to stay in your house. Okay, get some government ID ready. Hosts don't see the government ID, but you will need some government ID to set up your profile. Your phone number, really, really important that you have a mobile phone, and you have a mobile phone number connected to your profile, because you will need to travel with that. Download the app and hosts will communicate with you via the app, and so will Airbnb. Have your email address ready that you want to receive the emails for, and please follow along when you get an email. You know, you'll be communicated with a lot via Airbnb with your email address. You'll get to verify that. Really important that that's all set up. And I think it's really nice that you describe yourself. Tell the host a little bit about yourself. You know, do you like to travel, that you have 2 kids, that you're married, it doesn't have to be long and detailed. Mine's a little bit more long and detailed because I'm obviously a host and I want people to feel comfortable staying with me. But a little bit about yourself really does help hosts feel a little bit more comfortable. All right, you're going to have your payment options there as well. So get a credit card ready, a credit card that you want to pay for all your trips on. And get that app on your phone, like I said, and make sure you turn your notifications on for that, for texts and emails, because that's really how you're going to communicate with everybody. All right, we're going to go into a little video here that I've done on Loom about how to set up your profile. Again, Airbnb do change their website from time to time. Most of it will remain the same. It will be pretty generally close. If you've ever set up a profile like for Amazon or anything like that, then you'll certainly be able to set up an Airbnb profile. So here we go. Here I am, hopefully on a little bit better Wi-Fi than I was the last time I tried to do this video. This is going to be about how to just set up your profile. Okay, now, look, as time goes on, the Airbnb platform does change from time to time. So if it doesn't look exactly like it does here, just Google Airbnb, jump on, and you should get to a home screen similar to this. All right, now Google will probably use your Google account picture up here if you have a Google account, or there'll be something up here about, profile or something like that. So what you do is you're going to press on your picture, You're going to go to profile, or it'll ask you to set up a profile. It's like setting up anything in any new account on the internet. So you go to your profile and, you know, just fill in the blanks, your name. Now, things to remember here. I don't know. See these little locks? Hosts don't know that I'm female. It's irrelevant to them. Okay, the date of birth, that's not relevant to a host. We don't care unless you tell us that you're coming to celebrate your birthday, in which case you get like a little gift or balloons from me. But, you know, that's not told to the guests. Your email does not go to the hosts. Your date of birth does not go to the hosts. Your email address does not go to the hosts. Okay, this is so that Airbnb can communicate with you, and they really, really do need to. Now, hosts do get your phone number, but that's only after you have confirmed, booked, and paid. All right, now it is important that we have your phone number. We need to be able to contact you. Airbnb will also send you notifications via your mobile, okay? So that needs to be there. Government ID, see again, hosts don't see the government ID. That is purely and simply within Airbnb's network, and it is a very secure network. They wouldn't be dealing with millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars a day that they do without being a secure network. All right, so you just fill in this in, you know, also Australian dollars or whichever currency you want to be paying for. You can put as many languages in as you like. Obviously, Australian dollars, it'll come out of your credit card in Australian dollars. You will see things in Australian dollars. All right, where I live, I don't know why that's come out, but I don't think Jim Boomer exists for Airbnb. And a little bit about yourself. Look, not everybody fills these in, but I think it's nice. You know, hi, I'm married, I've got this, I've got 2 children, I like to travel. You know, just something simple. It doesn't have to be as detailed as mine, but, you know, just something to make the host feel a little bit more comfortable about who is going to stay at their property. Okay, once you've got that filled in, Airbnb will guide you through this. You will need to also go to your account. Now, this is the one that took forever at home. And I'm hoping it goes a little bit faster here, otherwise I have to sing. Oh, there we go. Now, this is really important. You want to get your messages via email, push notifications, and text messages. This is so you don't miss out. This is so the host can contact you. This is so you can contact the host. This is so that Airbnb can contact you and tell you, you know, where you're staying, what the address is, all this sort of information. I get the reminders as well. Obviously, I've got everything ticked because I'm a host. The only thing I don't want is promotional phone calls. All right, they can send me everything else. I'm happy with that. So these are really, really important. And obviously, you just go down and save. So you need to do that. Now, while you're in the account setting as well, what you do is you pop over here, payment methods. Okay, now payout preferences is for hosts. That's how you get paid. All right, your payment method. How would you like to pay for all your trips? All right, really simple once again. You jump on, you give them your credit card details, and you set it, and they just follow along. It is really, really simple. So there we go. There's setting up a profile. It's not scary at all. It's actually quite simple. You can do this on your phone as well. I think it's probably a little bit easier to do this particular thing on the desktop, even though I do believe that Airbnb is far easier to run on your mobile phone and on your app. But there you go. So that's how you get started. And the next video we'll start looking at some places to book. So have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you in the next slide. Here I am, hopefully on a little. Okay, so now let's get ready to travel. We've set up our profile. We've got our credit card ready to pay for all our fantastic trips. So where do we want to go and when do we want to go? Now, the when you want to go is going to actually be really important because it's going to determine how much you pay, because obviously there's seasons and there's peak seasons, there's high seasons, there's low seasons, there's shoulder seasons. So, you know, when you want to go can be really important. Otherwise, you're just really looking at a general overview. And also when you want to go means that you're only going to be looking at properties that are available at that time. You don't want to be randomly scrolling through and looking at all these pretty properties only to find out that they're booked for the dates that you want. So when you want to go can be actually really important for your search. Okay. Now, what is also really important is to use your map function. Now, I'll be showing you how to do that. I quite often book by map. Because often I might fly into somewhere and I want to walk somewhere. So using the map can be really, really handy. It's not, you know, vital. You might just want to stay in Sydney generally or in Melbourne generally along the train line, or close, you know, to a river or something. But if you do want to stay close to a river or close to something, then, you know, using your map can be really handy. Okay, when you want to go, I've explained that, but you will need a check-in day and your check-out day. Okay, I have had people known to get a little bit confused, and they click on the Friday and think, yep, I want to stay Friday night. No, we want to have our check-in day and our check-out day. Okay, how many people are traveling can be really, really important, because for hosts, you know, the more people that are traveling or staying in your property, it does come down to expense. So, you know, you might have a property that for up to, say, 4 or 6 people, it's the same price. But if you go over 6 people, that's more linen, more coffee, more tea. You know, really it comes down to sort of a lot more toilet paper. It's a lot more expenses for hosts. So telling them how many people are traveling can be really important and can alter your price. It also helps people set up rooms. Like, I co-host a very large property. It's a big 5-bedroom property. You know, if we've only got 6 people staying and you say that it's 3 couples, then we're only going to make up the property for that, because otherwise people go in and they use all the beds. And again, that comes down to costs, and it's a lot of linen and it's a lot of expense. So when we go here with beds again, you know, we want to know how many adults, how many children, and if there are infants. If there are infants, you need to stay at a property that suits infants. Okay, so that'll be filtered through. So do they have a high chair? Do they have a porta cot? Do they have what's required when it comes to safety, when it comes to children and infants? Okay, so let the hosts know who's traveling, how many are traveling, and that'll also help you filter down to what sort of property you need. Okay, that also then comes into what type of accommodation. Are we talking an entire house, or are you going to stay in a private room? I personally like to rent entire homes where I stay by myself independently, although private rooms certainly have their place as well. And you know what? They can often be a lot cheaper. And if you just need a bed for a night, that's fantastic. Just pop into a private room. You'll probably find some really fantastic people and learn lots of things. I think if I'm going to somewhere like, say, New York or Paris, which is very expensive, okay, you know, sometimes those sorts of places, or very exotic places, if you're going to stay in a private room, you're going to have a host living in the property that can probably show you all the great little nooks and crannies and places to get to. A little bit of local knowledge goes a long way. So you just need to work out whether you want to be staying in a private room or you want to be staying in an entire apartment. We'll get a filter to click on there. All right, so we're going to watch this next video. It's a little bit longer, but it actually goes through the website, and we're going to have a look at where to book. Okay, now we get to the fun bit. We're going to go somewhere. All right, so we go back into our main screen. We've set up our profile and we're all good to go and book a holiday somewhere. Now, I'm not going to get into restaurants, adventures or experiences in this. This is purely and simply a lesson in how to book with a little bit more confidence on the Airbnb platform, because I know so many of you out there have struggled. So we're going to be staying somewhere. All right, now you can stay anywhere you like in the world, but let's go somewhere where I'm mildly familiar, but not too familiar, and we'll go to Melbourne. Melbourne City, Melbourne, Victoria, same. All right, we're going to go there. Okay, now what's really important? Now, first up, I like to show maps, okay? You can either click on the map or off the map. Is it going to click off? My Wi-Fi going to be playing nice with me? Maybe I'm just never going to be anywhere where there's good Wi-Fi. Or maybe I should just use my 4G. But there we go, we've got the map off. Okay, in which case you're not 100% where these properties are. Look, you know, if you just want to be in Melbourne City and you want to go by the pretty pictures and their reviews and price, then, you know, that can be great. Now, what you'll see here is these base prices here. This is ridiculous. These could also be base prices of a room, a shared room, all right? We haven't actually clicked on here that we want an entire apartment. I will be dealing predominantly with entire apartments on this third, because that's what most people will want, but we'll get into other types of stays later. So we've got here, now this would be the minimum base price, okay? So this will not be $50 a night between Christmas and New Year, and it may not be an entire one-bedroom apartment. There's probably a private room in someone's house. But what I like to do is I like to click on maps. If my map will go on. Okay, so this sort of shows me where these places are. If you click on it, the apartment will come up, and then you can click on through to that. But we'll get to that a little bit later. So I like to have my maps handy. Let's say I need to go and stay somewhere near the Royal Melbourne Hospital. Then you can see all these properties that are close to there. I like to zoom in, like if I'm going to a particular real estate event, or we go to Melbourne for Moomba, and I want to be able to walk to the river. I'll identify where I need to go, and I'll say we're going to go and attend something at the State Library or something like that, or you know the address of the Pullman or the Novotel or whatever. Look up the address in your map here somewhere, and then find the closest places. If you want to walk, you might want to drive. You might not find anything that's convenient. You know, you might want to get to the stadiums. So, you know, book something close to a stadium. I like to use maps, but you don't have to. All right, now really put in your dates, okay? Let's say we're going to be, now it'll be your check-in date and your check-out date. So we are going to check in on Tuesday, the 15th of October. We are going to check out on the 18th. This does not mean you are staying the night of the 18th. So this will be 1, 2, 3 nights checking out. Okay, so you save that. Now, the number of guests. Now, this can be really important because you can get charged more for guests over a certain number in certain types of properties. You also want to let the host know how many people are coming, towels, beds, everything else that's associated. So let's say we want to, I might go with 6 because I often travel to real estate events with 6 people, and that'll give us a better idea of when I say, well, I want to find rooms and things like that. So I want to have 6, you know, obviously put in children's and infants and things like that, because you may want a property that is suitable for instance infants, which means they might have porta cots, high chairs and things like that for you. So now, you don't necessarily have to say that it's a work trip or anything like that necessarily. That often means you might get a workspace, computer desk. It's more for Airbnb's data, to be honest. But if you are on a work trip and you do want specific things for your business, click on work trip all you like. Now, this is important here. We want to go and find the type of place. Notice how these prices have really gone up from our little $50 a night type of property that we had. Okay, the type of place. Again, I'm going to be talking about entire apartments. It's just easier. And this is just a really simple lesson again. I want to say in an entire place where I have the place to myself, okay? If I don't click that I want that, I could end up with 2 private rooms. I could have 2 of us in a bedroom, someone else on a couch, and someone else on an air mattress on the floor. Still sleep 6 people, but in a private room in someone's house, or it could be a motel room. Or there's also an option for shared rooms, obviously not for 6 guests, but I want to stay in an entire apartment, all right? So we click on that. Now, price, if you have a specific price point that you want to stay within, certainly you can click on price, and there should be a little slide bar will come up and down, and you can sort of pick your price that you want to look at. I don't generally use that because I see the prices over here. Now, the prices over here are your entire stay's price. That's every night, including your cleaning fee and your Airbnb fees, okay? So that's what you're going to pay for those 3 nights. I don't generally use Instant Book necessarily, because you might miss out on a really good property that isn't Instant Book capable, because the host just doesn't like that function, and they might want to purely and simply have people ask and request to stay. All right, now there's more filters here. I love the more filters. Now, when I travel with my friends, we're 3 couples generally, so I want at least 3 beds. Sometimes we do get more. We might get the 4 beds, but have 2 singles in a room, which is like I have at the weekend, where we're staying this weekend. Now, we want 3 bedrooms. Okay, I don't want someone sleeping on the couch. That's just the way we are. And we often want the 2 bathrooms. Look, we've stayed at some beach shacks and things like that where we've had 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, or 1.5 bath we prefer. And here we go. We've got Airbnb Plus. Airbnb Plus are properties that are verified via Airbnb, which means they've had a representative go and check the property, check that it's clean, check that it has wine glasses, coffee mugs, plates, knives, forks, all that sort of thing. I don't necessarily think you need to press on Plus unless you really do want it. I don't find, well, look, Plus properties can be a little bit better than your regular property. But not necessarily. I think it's more important to read the reviews and things like that first. Now, here we go. You can stay with a super host as well. I tend to like to stay with super hosts. Why I like to stay with super hosts is that they generally will not ever cancel on you, okay? So we can see if someone's a super host. We might leave that for now. If you have specific things that you need, like, yes, I definitely need free parking on the premises because, you know, you're driving. I don't always need that when I go to Melbourne. Do you want a house, the apartment? Like, you know, with my property, people would definitely want a house because they want to bring pets. Suitable for events. You might be hard-pressed to find anyone that allows events or parties, maybe some of very big, expensive properties. And, you know, specific neighbourhoods, and does your host speak its particular language? But look, you can get in there as well, and you will find pools and things like that if you need more. But we'll stick with some basics for now, and it'll show the properties that are available. And see, if you put in your dates as well, you only get shown properties available for that time. Like if you just put in, I want to go to Melbourne, you could scroll through thousands of properties, have to click on their calendar, go back, see if they're available. Oh no, they're busy, you know. So really put in the dates, then you'll know that that property is actually available on those dates. Now here are your pricing. So if you come over here and you think, well, that seems like a great price, you can click on that. That property will come up. And then you can start clicking away. This is obviously managed by a management company called the Stay In. All right, it's not a person's name. Design of apartment. It gives you a bit of a description. Please make sure you read all these, okay? It gives you a bit of a description. It's got a hot tub. Well, that's quite nice. You can go through here. And then now over here, you'll see, this is what I said. You've got, that is your total price. 4 6 guests. It's $249 a night for the 3 nights. There's your cleaning fee. There's your service fee. That's what it's going to cost you. All right, it's really, really simple. So then read all this. Is this what you're after? Does it have everything you need? Look, this is great. I love the way this is listed. Bedroom areas, what it has, bathroom, living areas. This is fantastic. We'll get back to this contact host a little bit later in this lesson. And here's more amenities that it'll have. It's probably got a pool and all sorts of things in there, but you can click on that. Oh yeah, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, washing machines, heating. So, you know, you can go through all those sorts of things, those sorts of amenities. I do tend to look at all those sorts of things. This is really important here. This is really important when I travel with my friends, because we do like to get properties with the 3 queen-size beds. But you could be traveling with family. You might want 2 singles, or, you know, because you've got the kids with you. So here we've got the sleeping arrangements of the 3 queen beds. Okay, so, and there's our stay. Then you can go in there. Now this property's got 370 reviews. You can go and read the reviews. Try and read between the lines of some of the reviews. And then it gives you a bit of an indicator of where it is. Gives you check-in times and the check-in style, which is with a key safe. Fantastic. So there's no meet and greet. I'm actually really glad I picked on this one. This is great. Now, strict cancellations as well. Make sure you look at your cancellation. This is strict. Now, this will tell you that you get cancellations free for 48 hours after you book. But if you want to read about the rest of this policy, you get until the 8th of October and you get 50% refund, minus the service fee. Of course, Airbnb wants them. And then it'll tell you here more about this cancellation fee. So, look, most hosts do have strict cancellation fees. If you find a flexible one, then, you know, you can cancel, I think, up to 24 hours before or a week before and get all your money back. So there's your check-in times, your check-out times, check-in with a key safe. Fantastic. Love it. Okay, now we can go back to the reviews. So this review, actually this property might be new to this particular host. They may have just switched to this management company actually, because the management company, the host is the one that holds the reviews. Okay, so as hosts, like I've got, I don't know how many thousands of reviews or whatever, and then if I go and start another property, my reviews come with me as a number, but your specific reviews for your particular property stay with that property. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but why this is because these are other listings that this person has. So I'd actually have 19 listings. Okay, so we'll try and go back. And if this doesn't work, oh, that's right. Okay, better go back up to it that way. Had a really enjoyable stay here. Then it's nice from checking in. The process was made really easy. Minutes were all full in the region. All right, fantastic. Okay, so that place isn't looking too bad if that's in an area that we want to go to. But let's go back to Melbourne. Now, all these will need to go back up the top bar. So maybe you want to look at pictures. Maybe you're a picture person. Maybe you want to look at things like this. So, oh, this place has got a car park and a gym. That's fantastic. It's also a rare find. Let's click on that one and have a little bit of a look at that. I'm looking for something with a lot of reviews. Oh, sorry, I didn't go through photos. This probably is an entire apartment, 9 guests, 3 bedrooms, 6 beds, 2 bar. Peggy's our host. Peggy's not a super host. Now, if they have a super host, they have a little logo here. Okay, sleeping arrangements, bedroom 1, 2 queens and an air mattress. I mean, a queen bed and an air mattress if you want it. A double bed and 2 singles. I'm not particularly a fan of the whole air mattress thing, but oh, here we go. I think my internet's coming back. Ooh, don't make me sing. Don't make me sing. Okay, it tells you sort of a better description of the location again. This is how much we're going to be paying. This is quite cheap compared to inexpensive. All right, this is great because this one has a lot of reviews. Now, this is why she's not a super host. So something's going to be going wrong here. She only has a 4.44 review rate. Ugh. If any of my properties were at 4.4, I'd be really, really sad. Anyway, so you can see the location people have given it this, communication value. Okay, I might reserve judgment on that one. It's hard because, you know, sometimes guests can be really, really harsh. But this is a quick way there of flicking through the photos. It looks like it's set up for full-time Airbnb. It definitely does not look like a PPR or an amateur. It is set up for an Airbnb. I think with 4.4 as a star rating, something's gone wrong somewhere. Someone's given them a bad review somewhere. So let's keep. See, this one's a 4.81. Now this is a super host. Okay, so if you want a super host, grab that. This is new. I'm staying in a new apartment this weekend. I've taken the risk because I thought, you know, there was specific things about her property that I like the look of. Ooh, a 4. Ooh, okay, maybe not. Oh, here's a 5. This is fantastic. This is what mine would be like. I would have 5 stars on mine. So 5 stars, but not a super host. That's interesting. They may cancel on a guest. So if you've got a full 5-star rating, and that's something to really look out for. I had a friend recently had a host cancel on them, and they might be that he hasn't been doing this long enough. And then when he went back and read the reviews, he found that of the 23 stays the property had booked, they had cancelled on 12 of the guests. So, you know, that's something to really look out for. We'll see how many reviews he's had. It could be that purely simply hasn't been around long enough to get the reviews to be a super host. Yes, he's only had 4 reviews. There we go. Gee, so far he's doing really, really well. That's fantastic. So there's lots of little things. So don't necessarily go, oh, he's not a super host. See, if we just clicked on super hosts, we may not have seen this apartment. And you know what? looking pretty good, and he's got really full 5 stars. So, you know, tick for that one. But you can spend hours and hours and hours going through if you want, if you're really fussy, looking at maps, reading all the reviews. But I really hope that that helps you. Maybe go over here and grab a look at some, you know, maybe at price point, maybe at location. You can zoom your map in and out. And I'm sure I'll be doing another video on how to book this, because I'm sure there's going to be something that I'm going to think about. But that's a really quick overview for you. When, how many, because this may determine your price. Like if you go into a property and all of a sudden there's only 2 people staying, it might be cheaper. If there's more than 2 people staying, the price may go up. Like some of my properties, if it's more than 2 people staying, I only want to attract a couple and their dog. If you have more than 2 people staying, it's more linen, it's more cost to me. The price does go up per night, per people. I also manage a property that's a big 5-bedroom property. We set our base rate at 6 guests. Anything above 6 is more per person per night, because that's more bedrooms, that's more linen, that's more tea. And to be honest, it comes down to toilet paper as well. You know, it's a lot more things being used by guests, a lot more power and a lot more water. So there we go. There's basically how to book, and I'm sure I will come up with another video soon. Hope that's helped. Okay, now we get to the fun bit. Okay, so I really did hope that that helped you, guide you through there and how to use some of your filters to work out what you want to look for. And yeah, I didn't have my goggles on properly there, did I? That was an entire apartment for $50 a night. Now, remember, that's the base price set at that particular time that you were looking for. So I'm sure if you found that property at certain times of the year, there was no way you were going to get an entire apartment for $50 a night. So just be really wary of that. That's why it's really important to put in your dates. I want to apologise, a little bit fuzzy. I'm sorry. The internet is really slow when I was doing those Loom videos. And as I'm showing you there, they do sort of go in and out of focus as the internet comes and goes. So, but I'm sure that, you know, at the times that it was clear, you got a grasp on what we're doing there. Okay, so let's move on and just recap. So firstly, it's really important that you do read the listing, okay? Hosts go to a lot of trouble to describe their property, so please read them and make sure it's what you are after. Have a look at their reviews and read them, okay? You can read a lot into the reviews. Are they a super host? You know what? Sometimes it is good to book with a super host, and I do like it because they have set hosting standards generally, and the fact that they are far less likely to cancel on you. But remember, we did see that guy that was new and he had a fantastic looking apartment. You know what? I'd probably give him a bit of a go because he looks like a professional, and I don't think he'd want to even risk the chance of not becoming a super host with an apartment like his. Okay, where are they on the map, and is that near where you would like to stay? Have you set all your filters correctly for the number of rooms, bedrooms, bathrooms that you like or require? Are you taking pets or anything like that? You know, that's a filter that you'd really want to click on. If you want to stay somewhere where you can take a pet, click on that filter, okay? Because then it's only going to bring up pet-friendly properties. The same with the parking. Sometimes that's really important to me. Now, make sure you have a look at the house rules and your check-in and check-out procedures. I think this is important. I went through this week with a client. You know, she has to do the meet and greet. She can't have a key safe at her property, and she can't check guests in because she is a more mature lady. She can't check guests in after 8 o'clock at night. So if you're flying into a country or flying into an area and you're not getting in until late at night, you know, there are properties that you won't be able to check in 24 hours like mine. So, you know, check-in is really important, and reading the house rules. And you'll see the full price on booking, and are you happy enough with that price? Okay, so if you've got any questions, you can also contact the host. Like, you know, it might say that it had a porta cot and you just really want to make sure, because you're flying in and you don't want to be bringing your porta cot with you, trust me, with the prices airlines are charging you for luggage these days. So, you know, you might just want to contact the host and say, hi, looking at traveling, do you have a porta cot? Just want to confirm that you'll have that for us. Or people often try to check, you know, my fences. Hi, we're traveling in with our dog. It's a bit of an escape artist. Could you just describe your fences to me? I do have it in the listing, but people don't necessarily always read it. So we will move on. And if you've got any questions, you can always email me after this as well. So we're now going to get into contacting a host for pre-approval or to ask a question. So I was just mentioning before, people ask me about fences, or you can ask about porta cots or things, anything that you like, really, if you've just got a question for the host. But make sure, again, you've used the correct filters. You want an entire house, not a private room, or you may want a private room. Have you looked on your map? Have you read the listing and the house rules? And if you've got a question, then we can go in and ask a question. Now, if you've asked a question, the host may also pre-approve you for that stay, all right? So I showed you before in that video, little circle of contacting hosts. That's what we'll go on and do now. And this is where it's really important to have the app on your phone and have your emails and everything set up, because it's like sending an email, really. If you can send an email, you can do a contact host. So you'll receive emails back from Airbnb, or you'll receive messages to your inbox on your app. All right. And as I said, hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. You can be pre-approved for this stay once you contact a host. Now, you don't have to accept that. If they get back to you with an answer that didn't suit you, and they say, no, look, the porta cot's broken, I'm sorry, we don't have one, and you don't want to stay there, then just don't accept the booking. Okay, you'll get 24 hours to accept the booking. Someone can book over the top of you. It is pretty rare that a host would hold those days for you for 24 hours. So just be mindful of that. Okay, and you only have to pay 50% of the trip up front. All right, we'll go on to another little video. We're traveling next week. We're traveling with a baby. We want to ask about the porta cot. So we've got our dates. We want to go. We're going to Sydney, obviously, 4 guests, entire place. My more filters, I've asked for 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and 2 beds. Identified the area I want to stay in, and this guy looked really great. Super hostful, 5 stars, everything I needed, really quirky looking apartment. So, I want to go ahead and contact this person and just make sure that, they have a porta cot. Now, if you can send an email, you can. I also like pineapple. Anyone that knows me knows I love my pineapples. So you just want to ask them the question, confirm that they do have this porta cot. Over here again, this is what I'm going to be paying. There's my check-in day, my check-out dates, 4 guests, how much I'm paying per night, my cleaning fee, my service fee, and what my total is going to be. But I don't want to reserve this. I don't want to book it yet. I just want to ask a question. Now, there's 2 places you can do this. You can contact host here, or down the bottom here, it'll say contact host. So it's very, very, very simple. I'll go up to this one up the top here, and I want to contact the host. You just say, hi, just confirming that you do have a porta cot, and you'll be able to make that available for me. So you just go in here, type away, send message. Honestly, it comes back to you as a message. If you can send an email, you can certainly do a contact host. So we don't want to book that yet. We'll get to that in another video, but you just want to contact the host and ask a simple question. So this then, once you've contacted the host and they say, yes, we've got a porta cot, we will pre-approve you. They will pre-approve you for 24 hours. Someone else can book over the top of you. Very few hosts will actually block those days for you. It depends on your communication with them. So just keep that in mind. But if you want to confirm that booking, because they get back to you and say, yes, we have a porta cot, we'll certainly make that available for you. They've pre-approved you, then you just follow along again and go, great, accept booking. So it's very, very, very simple. Airbnb do make it very, very easy for you. So I hope that's helped. I often get people asking me about my fence, particularly with the dog-friendly property, what sort of fence, because you obviously might have dogs that are like escape artists. So very easy to ask the question. And if they get back to you and say, I'm sorry, but our porta cot's broken, we don't have that available at the moment, then you don't have to accept the booking. So I hope that has helped. And we're traveling next week. Okay, so now that we've got everything organised, maybe you've been pre-approved or something like that. Oh, actually, I put a little note while I was watching that video. Like I said, this is an unedited thing. We're just sitting in a coffee shop. luggage drop-off. On the check-in details of that property they were just contacting the host on, they had a luggage drop-off from 11 a.m. So I thought that was really cool. So if you get an early flight in, they've got guests checking out that day, you've got to understand that they've got to have time to get it prepared and cleaned and do the linen changes and everything for you. So, but that was really lovely. This host allows you to drop luggage off. So little things like that may also be in the listings, which can be really handy. So here is if we want to actually now book and pay. This is from my mobile. So there we are. We've got a property and we can continue. All right, if you're on it'll either be reserve on the laptop top or the PC, or continue. You know, these things do change from time to time, like I said, but you know, big red one that says continue should sort of show you that that's how you're going to book a property. Make sure, again, I know I keep going over and over this, but you know, it's amazing how many people do book the wrong thing. Are you happy with the listing and have you read it? I think it's one of the most frustrating things for hosts, that you really do carefully describe your property in your listing and people just do not read. Okay. Have a look on the map. You know, location's another thing that's very frustrating to hosts, to be rated and reviewed on location when it's very, very clear on booking where the properties are. And, you know, and then guests will go and give a host 4 stars. You know, that's really not fair on the hosts when it is very clear where the properties are. So you've used your filters, you've got your check-in dates, double check that you're ready to go, then you press reserve and continue and follow along. And as I've said before, if you can purchase something online, you can book something with Airbnb. So there's just the difference again between reserve on the laptop or continue on your app. And your credit card should be linked if you've set up your profile properly, and it'll just automatically charge to that. Okay, now if you are traveling far, look, if I was traveling tomorrow, I wouldn't get the option to pay in 2 parts. But if you're traveling far enough, you're booking, far enough in advance for your travels, and the total is over. Look, it used to be $300. It may be different now. If you're over a certain value, you will be able to pay in 2 parts. So make sure you look at that. Comes up in a video actually, but just make sure that you do have a look at that. Maybe jot it down in your diary that you're going to get your second half payment come out on a certain day. But Airbnb, again, will communicate with you and they will send you an email. All right, so it's so important that all those things are set up correctly in your profile. It makes traveling easier. Okay, so like I said, follow along, read your emails, make sure everything is set up. It is frustrating. Again, I've got someone that's traveling into one of my properties this week, and they obviously don't have their profile set up properly. Their app's not working properly and they haven't been receiving the email. So it's actually starting to get a little bit frustrating for me. It becomes so easy if you have your profile set up properly. So another video for you on how to actually book. I won't go through with a booking because I don't want to go and pay for someone's property. But I must say, I came in to do this and I decided I was going to go to Melbourne, and I'm going to, in the dates of Moomba next year, because we are actually going to Melbourne for Moomba next year, and I've already booked my property. So I wish I hadn't done it and I'd saved it for this video. We're going to be 2 guests. We want an entire place and we want 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom at least. And I want to be in the general Melbourne area because Moomba is actually down here in the river. Now, I must say my heart sang when I saw this and it popped up. I was so pleased because this here is actually a lovely lady I've worked with and a client. So we worked on her property, and I just did a general search of Melbourne for a 1 bed, 1 bath, and she's full 5-star now, and she has been the first property that popped up. So gorgeous lady. I am so pleased. So I'm going to be sending her an email later today. This one here I think could be the property that I've actually booked. Actually, that wouldn't be the property I've booked because it wouldn't come up, but that's one that I've actually looked at before because it had been highlighted. So if I wanted to book on that one, then I could, but let's have a look at something. I want to be closer down. Oh, look, lucky numbers. We're going to go with this one here. Just done it for a demonstration. So you click on there. You'd make sure that you've read it, you've got the correct dates, and you're happy enough, yeah, he's a super host again. This looks really creepy. They have some nice little apartments in Melbourne. So what I'd do is I'd come over here. It's a really good rate actually for that particular time of year, because it is actually got a long weekend in there. 5% discount because I wanted to book for a week, so that's fantastic. All I do is just click on reserve, and that's all you need to do, and then follow along. Now, when you press on reserve, if you've ever booked anything, if you've ever bought, anything online, then you can certainly book an Airbnb and pay. If you've set your profile up correctly, like I've been explaining through this little lesson, you would have got that right. Now, you'll also, on the right-hand side, once you've pressed reserve, it'll reconfirm things, because here it says you won't be charged yet. Let's just press on it. Now, I am instant book capable, so I don't want to go too far down here, but along here it'll say, do you agree to these conditions? So yes, you agree to the conditions, and it's not suitable for this, that, and the other, and you want to go on these particular dates. Again, you confirm this. Now, this is where I won't proceed past, but it'll probably ask me, do you want to pay in full now or pay in 2 parts? Because it's over $300, oh, here we go, due now and due on the 19th of February. It used to be down on the bottom right-hand side. So I can pay that amount now and that amount on the 19th of February. It'll automatically come out of your credit card again. So it's really that easy, people, to book an Airbnb. The hardest part, honestly, is just using your filters and making sure that you look at your maps as well. But using your filters is really important, particularly if you do want a certain number of beds, bathrooms, and things like that. So happy travels, everybody, and just continue on with this lesson. Ciao for now on how to actually. Okay, so now we're going to communicate with our host, all right? Now, I did say that this has all been done in one take. We've probably got a couple of little bloopers going along here, but I'm sure you're getting the gist of how to do this. So we're going to go into communicate with a host. Now, I really like people that communicate with me. I'm a great communicator, so please follow along how to do this. It's actually easier, I think, to do it on your phone, because it's honestly just like sending a text. But either or, you will find it on trips on your computer or your app. Okay, so look out for the word trips. Okay, go into trips wherever you find it. And now I'm going to show you the images on the on an app. I've just taken some screenshots of them because it got a little bit tricky trying to video my phone. And if you can send a text message, you can certainly message your host. But here's a video of how to do it on the desktop. Important that you know how to communicate with your host. I find it a lot easier on the app, and I'll hopefully do a little video when I work out how to do that, or I'll do it the old-fashioned way and have someone video me just playing on my phone. But you go into your trips, okay? Now, it's off here, you can see that I'm travelling with friends this weekend, and it's really nice to have your friends as part of the booking. They can see where you're going and all the information about the apartment as well. It's also nice for the host to know who's travelling. Again, this is a sharing community, and these are generally people's homes. So it's just a nice idea. It's actually more convenient for your friends that are staying with you more than anything. So what you literally do is you go into trips, which I've done, and you click on that trip. Okay, and then I just want to contact my host. There's all the information there about where, how to get there, the address, all that sort of thing. But if you want to communicate with them, you can either, on your phone again in particular, it's very easy to find them because you just press call, literally call, and you can call them. It'll go straight through to their phone number. Again, why it's really important for you to register your phone number. So here we go. This is the information about this trip coming up. This is the phone number of my host. This is my host, lovely smiling face there. She's actually new to hosting, so I'm really excited about going here. She looks like she's doing a pretty good job so far with the way she's done the photographs and the information on her listing, so I was really happy to book with her. It's also in a great location for where we want to stay, so I did check out that on the map, and I'm about 350 metres to the event that we're going to. So here it is, my reservation is confirmed and I'm going to Surfers Paradise. Now, this is where you can see I've been communicating with the host. So from way back down here, when I said I was going to a seminar with friends, she sort of welcomed me and said, great, give you more details closer to check-in, which she certainly has. And up here we're arranging to have to do a meet and greet with this lady because she doesn't have a key safe. She's giving me her phone number, the address again, who will be meeting me, what time. Over here again, if you weren't sure what this has cost you, here's your costings, your cleaning fee, and the service fee which goes to Airbnb. So to simply talk to this host, I can just come in and say, hi. I can't pronounce this lady's name, so I'm not even going to start. So, hi, how are you? Looking forward, etc. Like I was staying, and I'm not going to send that obviously, but then it's just very simply send a message. It's like sending an email. I mean, I had to contact a host at a place I was staying at Broadbeach recently because I wanted to know the height of the garage to work out which car we were going to take. So contacting your host is really, really simple, and please make sure you use that, and it's even far easier on the phone, which I'll do a demonstration of again later. Okay, so I'm not going to be showing you that demonstration on my phone because it just didn't work. So like I said before, I've screen captured some of those. So this is what your phone will look like. Go down to trips, and your inbox is important, okay, because that's where all your messages will come through like a text. So just go to trips. You'll automatically, if you're not a host, you'll automatically be in traveling, but if you are a host, you should know how to do this. But I switch between host mode and traveling mode. So you should just be in traveling mode unless you are a host as well. Go into trips, then your inbox will have all your messages. I've got a little dot there on mine. And if you can send a text, you can communicate with a host here. All right. So here's some more slides that show this. So this is, I would have pressed on trips here and got into that one I was showing you on the laptop. So what you need to do is just click on message host, and that'll be like a text message, or you can just simply press on call, and you can just call your host. Now, when you press on call host, it may also come up literally as the text message to their phone. I prefer to message hosts via the Airbnb system, which is your messaging system, but you can also text them as well. But, try and keep everything on the platform. It's way better to keep everything on the platform. Now, this is just a little bit of an example of how those messages came up. Like I said, just like text messages. You'll go into your inbox, and these are all the messages to and from this host. Type away. You can send them photos. Like I have people, or guests, when they stay in one of my properties, I have to sign a waiver before they can ride my bikes. So, I get them to send me a photo of the waiver form signed. So again, here's a screen of what it looks like. If you can send a text message, then you can certainly do this. You get to it via trips, via the inbox. Okay, and this is again down here the reminder to make sure that you have all the notifications turned on your phone with your app, and you'll know that you've got a message from a host because it'll come through as a text warning sort of thing to say, go and look at your messages, basically. All right, so when we go to get to check-in, now not all hosts have these, but you'll have check-in instructions. So this is one of my properties, check-in instructions, and you'll go start check-in. Okay, so you can go into your check-in procedure. I have a keypad. You keep following along and you'll see little images like that's my door, my keypad's over here. It'll explain where to park, what to do. If it's a meet and greet, then you'll be able to arrange to meet and greet your hosts. Not all hosts will send messages like me, and like I said, not all hosts will have this check-in procedure set up, but if they do, they're fantastic, or if not, they should have sent you a proper message. Okay. Now mine comes in a series of about 4 images, which includes the key safe and stuff like that to make it nice and easy. And again, you just follow along. But hopefully the hosts, like I do, have sent you a full detailed message. And you should have your address. Again, Airbnb should send you about, oh gee, at least 3, if not more emails in the lead up to your stay. So again, make sure your emails are set up and you're not in junk. Now, so you've got there and you've enjoyed your stay on shore. Now, when it comes to checking out in a property, I have checkout expectations in my welcome book. I have a very comprehensive welcome book in all my properties. Sort of how to work the Wi-Fi, or what Wi-Fi codes, how to use TVs, washing machines, anything that you can be used. I have information and maps on the area. I do provide a lot of stuff for my hosts, for my guests. So hopefully you've booked a place that you have enjoyed in the correct location and the right type if you've been following along properly, right? And you've enjoyed your stay. Again, not all hosts are like me, but I do have expectations of checkout. Now, I think it's really important that when you check out, whether a host has left you an expectation of what they like the dishwasher stacked and on and things like that, I think it's really important that you do respect any home you stay in, okay? These are not generally, like with my properties, they are my holiday homes, and I do like to share them with others. Sometimes you have professional hosts and they are just professional Airbnbs, or you could be literally staying in someone's home. And I think regardless of where you're staying, you need to respect it. And I think that of motel rooms as well. I don't like these people that have the attitude, oh, it's just a motel room. It's still someone's business, and these are people's businesses. And I think it's really important that you respect them and that you leave them clean and tidy. That doesn't mean, look, some hosts do want you to do the linen. I don't think that's right. And I certainly wouldn't get my guests to wash linen. But, I do expect them to leave the property clean and tidy. I don't expect them to vacuum and mop, but to at least leave them tidy. Or if they have made a lot of a mess, then, do a bit of a sweep through. And certainly in my dog-friendly ones, to clean the yard after the dogs have been in it. All right. Now, once you've left the property clean and tidy, I'm sure anyone that knows me who would be watching this video would be doing that. You can get to review. Now, you'll get emails from Airbnb about reviewing. Now, when you get to do a review, okay, please don't think that being a review means that you can be a keyboard warrior. Okay, I like to send love and light out to the universe always, and I always like to remain positive. Now, unless it is really, really warranted, please don't leave a damaging public review. These are people's businesses, and what you think might be of all good intentions can really harm someone's business. So unless it's really warranted, please don't write anything publicly. Leave that as private feedback. Now, an example of this is I had a client once, and she lived upstairs and she was renting out her granny flat. Now, unfortunately, the guest left her a really bad review, purely and simply because she just totally forgot to leave an extra roll of toilet paper. Now, that's not fair. That guest could have easily asked her and said, look, hi, we'll call her Natalie. Her name isn't Natalie, but hi, Natalie. Look, you don't seem to have left an extra roll of toilet paper. Could you pop one down to me? You know what? Absolutely, she would have done that. There's no need to go and leave something like that in a public review that, there wasn't even any toilet anyway. This lady went on and on and on. There was no need for it. All right. It's different if you've got an issue and a host doesn't address it. Like a friend again recently stayed in a property. He messaged the host the next day and said that he was cold. Is it possible that someone could drop around a blanket to him? And the host just blatantly said, no, you should be warm enough. Okay, now that's not very good hosting. And he did mention something in the public review about that. So if you do have an issue with a property, you do have the option to contact your host. Please address it with them. Is there things that you think could be changed, or some constructive criticism, like they don't leave cold water, or they could do this, or something that you think would add value? Then certainly do that, but do it privately unless it's absolutely warranted. Because I think sometimes people have expectations that are just a little bit too over the top, and I have seen a few too many keyboard warriors in my time. So I hope I've explained myself there and you understand what I'm trying to get at. So thanks very much. I really hope you enjoyed sitting in the coffee shop with me and having that little lesson, and that it helps you book Airbnb a little bit more effectively. Now, if you do want to go on and ever host yourself, don't forget to get a copy of my book, Ready, Set, Host It. If you want any hosting or training, or I can also go on and co-host people's property these days, or if you might know someone wanting to set up an Airbnb, I'm certainly, that is what I generally do for a living now, host and train people. There's my phone number, there's my email address. The book is Ready, Set, Host It. It's got a Facebook page, Ready, Set, Host It. You can find me and message me there as well. And please always remember to travel safe, enjoy, lots of love and light. Thank you so much for joining me today.